Well, I'm never going to be able to explain what it's like to be in a highly charged positive field because I haven't experienced it. But I have experienced great numbers of highly charged negative fields. So, using my reasoning, I can say, good God, if we've got this pole of highly charged negativity and we're bouncing like Tigger the Tiger on a spring tail on the negative pole, then there must be a highly charged positive pole. Now, some people will say, which implies perhaps you might like the middle way of not being charged at all. Some people might say, is a highly charged positive pole the feeling that you might get in an orgasm? No. That is not highly charged positivity. That is too much of that, and you're going to consider it torture. So, no, it's not that. Whatever it is, do you want to be not charged at all or positively charged? Well, I don't know. Some things come to mind. The spiritual teacher, Dr. David R. Hawkins of Sedona, Arizona, said that there is a field of consciousness at calibration level 800 on the scale of human consciousness, and he called it the void. He said it is tremendously impressive at 800. But he said that is not enlightenment. Well, perhaps it is a form of enlightenment, but it is not the final destination on someone who is moving to higher and higher states of enlightenment. And 800 is definitely way higher than people experience on planet Earth from day to day. So it's not something that your neighbor is experiencing. How many people have experienced 800 on the planet the past year? Nobody. Nobody has been to 800. Dr. Hawkins said in human history there's usually maybe 6 sages who are at enlightened states over 700 at any one time on the whole planet. 6 on the whole planet out of 6 billion. So, no, he experienced the void, Dr. Hawkins. But, one of the sages on the planet. But anyway, I don't think you would say that it's a state of being uncharged because he didn't stay at 800. Although perhaps some beings somewhere else might be stuck at 800, because he did say that there are some beings that get above 600 and stop. And maybe they stay there for, I don't know, possibly never, or possibly forever, or possibly they'll move again. So it's undetermined, determined by not so much anything we can put into words. But is that an uncharged state? No, it's a positively charged field. The negatively charged field is anything under calibration level 200, and an uncharged field doesn't exist. Someone who is in a positively charged field is someone who calibrates at 200 or above on the scale of human consciousness. So a non-charged being does not exist in a human consciousness at all. Such a being might be considered a separate reality from what we experience on planet Earth. And there are untold numbers of realities. But on planet Earth, you cannot be an uncharged. You're either negatively charged or positively charged. So, when Buddha says, take the middle path, and people say that's not charged to one polarity or another, that is incorrect. That is an incorrect interpretation of these words that were translated probably from Pali, P-A-L-I, which is an ancient language. You might wonder why you're seeing me from down below. It's because I am using my hands to muscle test to get some information for you as I do this walk and talk. I've also got a bottle of water in my hands, so my hands are quite busy. So what else do they want to talk about? The Muse wants you to know that the middle path doesn't mean anything at all, because it comes from trying to translate whatever the Buddha was trying to say in ancient Pali into English from an ancient time to a modern time. Some people might wonder, well, does it mean don't do the austerities that he did? Yes, you might say that the austerities will not bring you to enlightenment. And not following a spiritual path might never bring you to enlightenment. No one has ever become enlightened by doing nothing. Yes, some people doing nothing at all have become enlightened. What does enlightened mean? It means a high state of consciousness. Currently on planet Earth, the collective consciousness of humanity calibrates at 207. Before 1987, at the harmonic concordance or convergence or whatever was going on then in astrology, the whole planet calibrated below 200. So we have made an enormous jump as a collective since what was going on before 1987. So congratulations. As for individuals, in Canada, 44% of people calibrate below 200 or negatively charged people. The balance are above 200. In the United States, 66% of people are concentrated in New York City, which is a fallacy, of course. So the point of the matter is, my information sounds interesting as a lecturer, but it is to be told to you truthfully, I am unable to qualify myself. In other words, the information that I'm giving you for muscle testing is highly questionable. Was Dr. Hawkins' information questionable? From time to time. Why is that? As he said, we seem to go through our conscious level individually, Dr. Hawkins said, varies from day to day. So, are there some bad days when you have bad calibrations? No. Are there some days when negative fields might screw up your testing? No. Don't believe what I say. It's true. Sometimes you might be getting wrong answers with your muscle testing. It's known to happen to anyone who does muscle testing. So, you know, if you listen to yourself and you know what you got is a lie, you're just going to have to figure it out. And the problem is that we don't have any kind of mechanical instruments that do muscle testing for you for truth. Is muscle testing valuable? Yes, it's valuable. But just like any other thing that we do, we're living on a planet that calibrates at 207, which means that there are less than 50% of us who are actually positively charged, in other words, over 200. Less than 50% of the human population worldwide calibrates over 200. That is the same truth that Dr. Hawkins gave us. So, what you can take from that is, if you're in the United States, your numbers are going to be very similar to Canada. You can find one of Dr. Hawkins' books. It might be Truth versus Falsehood, where he's got a map of the planet, and he calibrated the collective consciousness of individual countries. And you can find that map and see where your map was. I'm going to say it's likely hasn't changed much from that time. So anyways, we do seem to be higher than the last time I checked. And don't forget that even a single point on this scale is a huge jump in consciousness, because it is a exponential logarithmic type of scale where 1 point doesn't mean, you know, you've just gone up, taken one step. It is I wish I could remember the mathematics of exponential and logarithmic and what the difference is. But if you got some kind of an idea from that, that's the way it goes. One step is a huge, huge step, huge advancement in consciousness. So it also means, even in Western countries, beware of the people who come into your experience. Trust no one would be a very good way to go with, because, you know, there are lots of negatively charged people whose calibration is under 200 on the scale of human consciousness. And no doubt you will run into them in your life quite frequently. My sorry ass, Colonel Cliff Serene, has not reported in lately. That is one of our cosmic characters. Colonel Serene is with Special Forces in the U.S. Army, and he engages in, someone wanted to say, does Colonel Serene engage in spiritual warfare with the demonic? The answer is no. Just so you know. Who engages in spiritual warfare? Hell if I know. Harry Potter, I suppose. Colonel Serene is, as we know, a fictional character. So, you know, don't go expect him to be listed in annals of the U.S. Army. But as a cosmic character, he is a real character, fictional or no, and I'm sure from time to time we will see him again. He is tasked with his Sergeant Fogelus to track down highly negative extraterrestrials. So you could call him an army version of the Men in Black. What else can I tell you? I guess that's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. For the purposes of this, let's call myself Harry Weaver, the narrator.